Good morning, everybody. It is July 6th. Today is the day I'm going to be going to an interview at Dicky Bub's. I'm nervous, excited, and just literally, yeah. I've done so many different interviews for so many different jobs over the last 20 some odd years. And even to this day, I get nervous and anxious because there's those internal fears. I'm going to say the wrong thing. They're going to get the wrong impression. Stuff like that. Now, I said it before in a vlog once before that here in Rolla, when the college kids aren't in town, prospective employers are looking for employees. And certain markets don't really judge the physical appearance of a prospective employee. They just need bodies to work. That's why during the summertime it's easy to get a job around here because all the college kids have left and they're looking for people to fill the gap. So I'm not 100% worried about my uncontrolled appearance like my teeth. Yes, I will be wearing my dentures and that kind of thing. But I've learned over the years how to talk without showing my teeth. But and I'm not going to judge because I can't judge what reasons or what's going through people's heads for the different type of jewelry and tattoos and those kind of things. I mean, I know a couple of different people who work at a couple of different jobs that have visible tattoos. And for the most part, most employers don't mind the tattoos as long as they're tasteful and they're not like on your face. That in factor, if you have tattoos on your arms, you can cover those up. Things like that. It's the people who wear lip ring, nose ring, eyebrow bolt, or whatever it is that a lot of employers either ask you to remove it while you're at work or who knows what. It's a modern day age. People are dressing, to their fancy, to their likes. Body art, body decor, whatever you want to call it, to their likes. I know we're not Japan, but in Japan, they have various job markets for those who like anime or like, what's the other thing I was reading about? Cosplay, where they literally encourage their employees to dress up as their favorite anime character or cosplay type thing. And the fun thing about Japan, now I've never been there. I've always wanted to go visit. It's kind of a bucket list item that it's like, see Japan. And I'm not talking about like Tokyo or Kyoto. I'm talking about maybe going to Tokyo or going through Kyoto, but going to places that have historical value. And they value their history. I mean, they value their history. They have holidays for the Ronin, the 42 Ronin, or I can't remember the name of the movie The movie that has Keanu Reeves as one of the main characters is a historically based movie about a group of Ronin who basically took on a rival clan because of what they did to their clan leader. So it's a very interesting movie, but it has historical basis. They have a monument and they celebrate that day, and I want to go see that monument. I don't want to see the monument that's in Hiroshima that memorializes that event. No, I don't want to do that. I want to see something of non war, non World War One, World War Two type monuments. I would love to go. There's supposed to be a Shinto shrine near Mount Fuji. I'd love to go see that. I enjoy ancient. I don't even know if I want to call them ancient, but I enjoy historical things like they have a lot in Japan. They have quite a few throughout all of Europe. Liz might be able to answer this one if she knows, but I thought there was a memorial monument in Edinburgh, Scotland, to memorialize William Wallace. Now, we all know who William Wallace is from Braveheart, but that's only a small look into who he was. But my mom and I were talking about ancestral, historical connections through our ancestors from Scotland. And according to her and all the information she gathered, and I looked at it, and she's pretty much on the spot. We are descendants from, and I can't remember if it was MacDonald or some other Scottish name, MacDonald or McGoy. No, not McGoy. I think McGoys are our Irish ancestors. But we are descended from a gentleman who was one of Edward de Bruce's war cabinet generals, if you want to call him a general, but he was part of the war cabinet for de Bruce. So I have, from my mom's side of the family, I have documentation of proving my connection to this person. But and I went off track again. I started talking about my nervousness about my jobs, and then I started talking about Japan and history. Sorry. My I didn't put enough honey in that. That's a little bitter. That's my fault. My appearance sometimes can cause some people to go, "Whoa, this guy doesn't look right." Well, yeah, when I start growing out my hair, today is my haircut shower day. I'm going to do that right after this. I'm going to wake up during in and deal with that. Sorry, I've got like morning skin tab, morning whatever on my lips. Dry skin, thank you very much. Sorry, I'm thanking the voices. No. I'm not crazy. I do have voices in my head. A lot of people think just because you got voices in your head, you're crazy. No. I'll describe that here in a moment. The whole aspect of going to do an interview, I get nervous. I do my best to clean up, to look my best. I'll probably have to take my glasses for reading, but that's inevitable. Anybody who looks at my employee record, in the last 20 years, I've had maybe, let's see here, Wallbound, Stop and Shop, Ziggy's, Cold Cut City, Burger King, I've had at least a dozen jobs in the last 20 years. For the most part, most of those jobs basically ended on a good note. Either I ended the job because of the fact that I advanced to a different job that offered me more than the current job. I've only been fired twice. The only job that I ever had that I walked away from on a bad note because of just the way I was being treated on a holiday. But for the most part, I've either left jobs for a better job, or like my job in New York. My last job in New York was working at Stop and Shop, which was a grocery store in the deli department. It was after Hurricane Sandy, and basically I left on a good note because Jerry Ann and I were basically moving out here to Missouri. Otherwise, there's only been one job that I left basically in a bad point. Basically, I left on a bad note. The two jobs that I did get fired from was, well, the last one, Casey's. That was because of a major goof up on my part and being scammed. The other job that I got fired from was falsified information. And the person who basically decided to tell my boss to fire me was the district manager, and she didn't even come to me to ask me questions, which, I'll be honest with you, that was over a year ago, and I do not know if, no, I do remember the paperwork, and basically this person wanted me never ever to work at a Taco Bell again, which is what really irritated the crud out of me. But I'm about 90% sure that if I wanted to get that job back, I could go through a court of appeals, which, one, I don't have the money for or anything like that, and two, I'm not going to give myself a headache or stress over it. It is what it is. But for the most part, if anybody were to look at my work record itself, they would find that, one, I don't call out that often. In the year that I worked at Casey's, I might have called out once out of 12 months. Granted, I've requested days off for family events, use my vacation time for personal time, whatever, personal, family, vacation, however you want to put it. But for the most part, I've only called out once. I've come in multiple times when somebody else called out or anything like that. And that, in fact, when I first started Casey's, the first 2 weeks I worked there, I had, in 2 weeks, I had over 100 hours. I literally worked for 2 weeks straight, worked with maybe 1 day off in a 2-week span when I first started. That was because of the fact that Casey was so low staffed and so desperate for people. And I was even told by the manager, the assistant manager, and even the district manager that they're surprised. Was it the district manager or was it the regional manager? I can't remember. But there was 3 different managers who saw my hours and came to me and went, "What happened? Why do you work so many hours?" And I just went, "That's what they asked me to work. They were desperate for people. They didn't have enough staff. I worked. I worked 9 to 11 hours, And they were like, "And you're still here?" And I went, "Yeah, why would I walk out just because you're going to hand me hours and I'm making bank?" I think my first paycheck at Casey's, because of the amount of time I gave into them because of the situation, was close to $1,000. Yeah, close to $1,100. in a 2-week span at minimum wage, $9.35, somewhere around there, 9 and change. Somewhere it wasn't $9.50, but it was definitely not. It was over $9.25, so $9.30, $9.35, somewhere around there. And I enjoyed my time at Casey's until the change of management, and y'all know that history. Now, I'm not looking for another job that I'm going to be working. And in fact, I don't even know if Dickie Bubs was full-time or part-time, but I'm not looking to have another job that works me into the ground. I enjoy working. That's a given. But I don't want to work for another management system that doesn't listen to the employees. Because if you've got a problem with your manager and you go to your district manager or the person above them, and then nothing changes, or there's no like inquiry to why is this person, not doing their job or whatever, I really don't want that. I would rather to get this going, get this monetized, get this flowing to the point where I can say I don't have to work outside the home no more. Right now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not liking it. I'm not liking not working. Not because of the fact that I'm home all the time, but because of the fact that right now, there's 3 things going rough. Because today after work, we have to finalize our cleaning, finalize our sorting and organizing, and then tomorrow, J.M. wants to spend the day setting up for her birthday. Now, Wednesday, the 8th, she's supposed to go to the airport to drop Mom off at the airport so she can go visit her friend and then pick up her 2 sisters. And they come and go at basically the same time. Like minutes before Mom is supposed to be dropped off, her sisters are going to be at the airport. And then it's like Jerry's going to have to let her go drop off at departures and then run over to arrivals to pick Jerry up, or pick the sisters up. And the sisters have already expressed, oh, don't worry about getting everything done. We'll help decorate that, yada, yada. And I'm like, well, and I said that to Jerry. I said, Jerry, why are we rushing? Janie and Alicia said that they would help you decorate. You have 2 days before your besties come into town, and then you have 2 more days before your actual birthday. Now, I can understand you want to basically have everything done so when everybody gets here, you can sit back and relax and enjoy having time with them. All 4 of the women who are coming to town for Janine's birthday are Potterheads. Now, those of you who don't know what that means, basically they're big-time fans of Harry Potter. Her one bestie who lives in Florida lives a short distance, maybe an hour or 2 drive away from Orlando. What's in Orlando? Disney. What's now in Disney? Pottermore. An interactive place to go for Potterheads here in the U.S. That and her other friend from Texas, she's a fan of Harry Potter. She plays, I don't know, actually, does she play the game? I don't know, but she's not like a uber fan that she's got Harry Potter decor or Harry Potter collectibles or whatnot. My sister-in-law Janie, she's into Harry Potter. She plays the games. She doesn't have a large collection, but my other sister-in-law Alicia has a collection. In fact, there is I don't know. I don't know how much stuff Alicia sent to us for Harry Potter and gave Jerry-Ann Harry Potter decor ideas. But then there's all Jerry-Ann's fans from her YouTube channel that have sent her Harry Potter related gifts or DIY stuff, or so it's like this room. I don't know how many times I've done this, but this room, this right here behind me is my desk. Over the desk is a gallery of pictures of Jerry-Ann's family. We have a faux cloth. It's not faux, but it's a cloth like backdrop for taking pictures that looks like a library wall. Well, that is going to be covering all these pictures, and I have it literally convinced, thankfully. I convinced Jerry-Ann to basically leave that up once we're done putting it up, except for maybe in the future when family comes to visit, we can take it down. So we're just going to tack it in place with thumbtacks of one form or another. And then there's the bed. It's still got some stuff on it that we got to deal with tonight. But that wall over there behind me is going to have a faux brick drop cloth type thing over that wall in the back, which means we may or may not have to take a few things down so they don't get broken, knocked over, whatever. And we're splitting this room in half. This half that I'm on with the family portraits that I showed you is going to be the library. And the other half, and she's going to put some artificial plants over there after we put the faux brick tapestry thing. And we're going to call that side the herbology lab. So this room is going to get split, which is going to be interesting because I don't know how they're going to do this. And I'm not worried about the logistics. I want to be sleeping with Jerry, which I told her I don't care. I can go sleep on the couch. But she doesn't want that because if I do get a job and I end up working, and if they offer me the job and they ask me if there's any days in the future that I need off, right now the only days that I can tell them off the top of my head would be the 8th and the 13th. Because the 13th is Jerry's birthday and I want that off. The 8th I want off so I can finalize some last minute cleaning in our room, our bathroom, and then Mom's side. Mom has given us her permission to allow Alicia to sleep in there. So I see how things are working. So I gotta go into Mom's room, change out the linens, clean up Mom's bathroom a little bit, just make it usable for Alicia. And the reason why we did that is because Alicia is a smoker. Now I'm hoping even if she has permission to basically use Mom's room and smoke in Mom's room, that Alicia will either have her vape or do what her son did when her son visited a couple years back, and that was just to step outside every couple of hours to have a smoke. So yeah, Janie will be in here, and that's going to be fun because it's like half of it's going to be herbology, the other half is going to be library. And if you notice, now I don't think I've ever taken pictures of my desk beforehand, but my desk is primarily cleaned off of all my little other tchotchkes because they would not be Harry Potter friendly, which I don't mind putting my cross collection or my little decor pieces in my desk drawers until afterwards. But we left. I have two candlesticks, and I'm going to try to find candles to put in here. I have a candle snuffer up here, Jerry-Ann's, her wedding picture. This little lantern has a LED light in there, and when you turn it on, when you turn it on in this bright room, you don't see the little candle in there that flickers like an actual flame. An old-fashioned style clock. The other candlestick that matches the first one I showed you. A little wooden shot glass. I call it a wooden shot glass, but I wouldn't drink anything out of it. It's more decor. And then, of course, we have this Easter egg up here. And in the Easter egg is like a little platform for like a little bunny that you can put in there for decor pieces. I leave it out all the time just because it's fun. But Jerry Ann for Easter gave me a little, not really a Beanie Baby, but it's a little stuffed wolf with rabbit ears on there. So we shoved it into that egg to make it look like some sort of magical creature hiding out in its shell type thing. You just got a close-up of my poor teeth. And my teeth aren't just from drinking soda and eating candy as a kid. It's not even poor hygiene, because I used to brush my teeth all the time until my gums started hurting. And actually, I was once told that maybe I overbrushed to the point where my gums became sensitive. But most of the time when I have my dentures in, you don't see those as much. But yes, I'm pointing out my flaws. Okay. If you can't handle the fact that I know what my flaws are, and I've already tried to fix them, other than knocking all my teeth out and have full dentures, permanent full dentures. I can't afford that right now, and personally, as long as I can chew my food and swallow, I really don't worry about them. Not that I don't care, I just don't worry about it. They're not hurting me, they're not bleeding, I can still eat, I can still chew. That's all that matters. Anywho, sorry if I'm going round robin. Sorry if I'm going from one track to another track. That's my brain. What was I talking about before that I want to get back to? Oh, bucket list. There are several countries that I want to see that I've never been to before. The only country that I've been to that I wouldn't mind going back to, because I want to show Jerry. I want Jerry to see what I've seen in the past. She's never been out of the continental U.S. She's been to Georgia. She's been to Texas, Ohio. She's never been to Arizona, where I have family and where I basically went to high school. Don't know what it looks like, but I'd love to go back to my old stomping grounds. They say that the community college, which was right up the road from where I lived in Arizona for high school, has changed dramatically, grown, gotten better looking, things like that. It was a community college. It was Paradise Valley Community College, suburb of Phoenix. Like most major cities, every major city has suburbs. St. Louis has suburbs. New York has suburbs galore, and I don't mean just suburbs. I mean like whole other cities. I mean, they call Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx, and Queens suburbs. To me, those aren't suburbs. Those are whole cities just really close to each other. Chicago has suburbs. LA has suburbs. And LA is probably like New York. It has suburbs that could be whole cities. But like Arizona or Phoenix has Valley of the Sun, Paradise Valley, Mesa, Scottsdale. Not Prescott. I already said Phoenix, Sun Valley, Paradise Valley, Mesa, Scottsdale. I thought there was one more that I just can't remember. Probably because of the fact that I only heard of it once or twice. I don't know. I've never been through it, but they say it's getting bigger. They say they're going to add another suburb or another area of of Phoenix. I knew when I was there, Mesa was still growing. It was still being built up. But anyhow, but no, there's places I haven't gone to that I want to see, and it's like I want to go see Iceland. I want to go see Norway and Scandinavia. I want to see Ireland. I want to see the whole UK. Basically, I want to see all three of the countries that are makes up the UK: Ireland, Scotland, and England itself. I kind of wanted to go into France to go see the Eiffel Tower, but I know there's a lot of different good things in France, especially in Paris. You got the Eiffel Tower, you got the Louvre, Arc de Triomphe, those kind of things in Paris. I just don't want to deal with the roundabouts or the traffic or. I think those are about the only things I don't want to deal with. I mean, people are people. I probably dealt with just as bad, if not worse, in New York. So, Jerry wants to go see Italy and Cyprus. I kind of want to see Italy because of the historical aspects in Rome, even though I can sit there and go, you felt it before, America's feeling it now, the fall of the empire, basically, due to the Republic. If you're a Republican, I'm not trying to bash you, I'm just a historical point. Quick historical point. Rome, for the most part, fell due to its Republican government collapsing within itself. That's all I'm going to say. But then, if I were to go, and then, I don't really see, there's nothing in Africa that I'm interested in. Not really interested in anything in South America. For the most part, if I were to go into Asia, outside of Japan, it would be just go see the Great Wall. The Great Wall of China. It's an interesting, there's all kinds of movies about it. There's all kinds of history behind it. The main function of the Great Wall of China when it was built was to protect the interior of China from Mongol hordes. That's the only thing I know. As for Korea or Thailand or any of those places in the Indonesia region of Asia, kind of curious about going back to the Philippine Islands just to see, just to, as a quick stop, see Angeles City, to say, oh, this is the city I was born in. Granted, the base was over there. It's no longer a base because Mount Pinatubo blew its top and took out the base in half of the city. I just kind of want to go, oh, this is where I was born? Okay, cool. I would love to go down to Australia. I want to go see Sydney. Don't exactly want to go in the ocean. I'm not a big ocean person. Give me a pool and I'm happy. But I like to go see the Opera House in Sydney. I like to go, check out the Australian Zoo where Steve Irwin, the zoo that Steve Irwin created from scratch, basically. If I were to run into Terry Irwin again, because I ran into her once when she was in the States doing a book signing, the book that she wrote about how she met Steve and their life, basically. Never got to meet, because when she was here in the States, the kids weren't with her. And this was short, I think this book signing thing was shortly after, was it after or before Steve passed? I don't know. I don't remember. Not that I don't know, I just don't remember. So there's a few things. I mean, I've met Terry Irwin. She's a celebrity. I met her. I can literally say, hey, I met a celebrity. Granted, when we did the book signing and got the picture taken, it was me and Jerry, and Terry tried to talk to me, and Jerry was like, I'm sorry, he's starstruck, which was true. I was just kind of Terry Irwin, yeah, I get some. It would have been even if Steve was there, it would have been like, forget about it. You want to see a grown man cry over meeting another grown man? It would have happened. I would have been like bawling my eyes out. It's like, my hero, my idol, Just thinking about it makes me cry. Ah. But yeah, a lot of people are going to sit there and listen to watch this and go, "You're creating a bucket list at 48?" Yes, I'm going to tell you why here in a second. I have created a small bucket list, and most of it is things that I want to see before I pass away. Now, a lot of people are going, "You're 48, why are you creating a bucket list?" Well, here's 2 reasons why. One, I'm getting older, and I'm getting tired easier, and I'm getting worn out easier, and I'm having health issues in one form or another, which I would like to go see a doctor to get these things diagnosed and dealt with. But right now I can't because I don't have the finances for it. My insurance is kind of like, it's fixed, but it's not active. And I will go through that on a different video. That and the fact that I have outlived my father by about 2 years now. And anybody who's watched my videos know that my father passed away because of medical issues that some of it we didn't know about, some of it he knew about, but just didn't pay any attention to the doctors. Now, I'm bordering the same issue. I know what some of my issues are. I know I am hyperglycemic. What did the doctor say last time we checked it? Hyperglycemic, borderline diabetic. Now, what that meant when the doctor, because I even asked the doctor, what does that mean? Cut back on the junk. And I'm like, okay. But one thing I have not been able to cut back on because I'm just too, and I'm going to say I'm too addicted. I've been drinking Mountain Dew since I was, let's just say at least 20 to 30 years now. Since my teens, basically. So I'm going to say, yeah, about 30 years I've been drinking Mountain Dew. I've cut back on junk food. I don't eat as much candy, even though it looks like I have abundance of candy. Yeah, I have an abundance of candy that I hide away and forget about it. And then when I find it, I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's garbage. And I don't eat as much. I eat maybe one brand. And it's kind of hard to find the particular candy bar that I really, really enjoy, which I think I still have one left from Ohio. Sorry, I'm trying to get down to my stash. Yeah. Oh, surprisingly, I actually got 2 left. This is, that's where I started up. This is my favorite candy bar. Whatchamacallit. It has chocolate, it has caramel, and it has that Rice Krispie interior. Surprisingly, we've been back from Ohio for almost a month and a half, 2 months, and no, about a month. Yeah, about a month. And I still have 2 whatchamacallits down there. That's because I put it someplace out of sight. And sometimes it becomes out of mind, and then I get back to it and open it up and go, it's turning white. That means it's no longer edible, or it's no longer good. It's edible, but it might ruin my stomach. Oh shoot, what time is it? I'm over here talking. Oh, I can't do that. Okay. This room does not have a working clock because we took all the batteries out of our clocks. Because, granted, it's been a while and I just haven't put batteries back in there. But my Aunt Sue couldn't sleep in here because 3 different battery operated clocks that go tick tick, tick. And one of them is quite audible. It's quite loud. And I think it's the one on the table behind me. So we took all the batteries out. And if I look at all my clocks, I got one over there. I don't think I've ever put batteries on that wall clock because it's still got that 10 and 10, that 10 after 10, or what they call the smiley face. This one must have had batteries in it because it says 11:18. And that one back there must have had batteries on it because it says 8:40, thereabouts. So, but I'm looking at this going, ooh, this is getting a little long, and I know I started this after 11. Jenny Ann's currently napping, otherwise she might be reminding me, hey, you got stuff to do. Which basically the only thing I have to do basically is haircut and shower. I want to be nice and clean and decent looking. I say decent looking because even though I've had my wife and I've had a couple of you say how handsome I look now that I've had my beard shaved off, not happy. I gotta do what I gotta do to look presentable and respectable to at least get a job, and then see what their policy is on facial hair. But as Jerry said, hey, it took you 2 weeks to get a decent looking beard. It won't take me that long to grow it back. I don't know. I didn't start growing facial hair until I was in my mid-20s. And I literally had to learn how to use a razor. And talk about razor cuts on your first week worth of shaving. Yeah. Too much pressure, you cut yourself. Not enough pressure, you don't cut the hair properly. And then it gets tangled up in the actual razor and hurts even more when you pull it out. So, yeah. But anyhow, I wanted to show you one other thing that we did yesterday or the day before to prep this room for a guest. No, I'm not going to show it to you because there are certain things in there that I don't want you guys to see because it's the access to our wireless network here at the house, and it's protected by a password. But Jerry, we have this, what looks like it could have been a mirror, but it's actually a dry erase board, chalkboard. And she wrote on there, and I'm just going to read it from here. Hello. To access the MuggleNet. Wait a minute, I can't read it all from here. I'm just going to take you over there and read it. It basically says, hello, to access the MuggleNet, Accio, and then it gives the name of our network and the password. But, put you down, sit down. But she did that because we're trying to create a Harry Potter theme for her birthday. Now, we cleaned up our dining room, which was the dump room. What I mean by the dump room is anything that we either A, did not have a place for, or B, was being set off the side for the birthday. We just kind of put it in there. Some of it was put in there neat and organized. Some of it was just like dumped in there. So we called it the dump room. Every house has at least one room that they dump a lot of stuff in, and then when it comes time to where you want to use that room, you frantically clean it up. Well, 90% of the stuff that was in there that had to be dealt with was all the birthday decor, the gifts, the birthday decor, the gifts, the games, grab bag stuff like Harry's wand and glasses came in a 6-pack, 6 glasses, 6 wands, plastic, of course, and just other little things for the party, basically. And then the rest of it was just like decor stuff that wasn't changed out or put back after, what was the last holiday we decorated that room for? Easter? Spring? Something like that. So we had to put that away and try to clean up the what we could and organize what we could in a corner that nobody's going to deal with, because the original idea was to use that room for dining, and then we realized not enough space for the number of people we're going to have. Not just space as in where we're going to set everybody at the table, but space to get in between the buffet and the table itself. Granted, I could have sat along that side, and who would have been the other semi-skinny, average-sized adult? Well, they say Alicia and Janie lost a lot of weight, but Sharon, last time I saw her, she lost a lot of weight too. Don't pick. Sorry, I have a spot on my neck that's itchy, but if I scratch at it or pick at it, it becomes like angry red, and I gotta sit on my hand, otherwise I'm gonna do that. I have no self-control when it comes to certain things, like talking. But anyhow, this has gotten to be a little longer than I wanted, because I only wanted like a 20 to 30 minute session. This is now almost 50 minutes. Anyhow, sorry for going all over the place and just rambling. I'm, like I said earlier in this video, I'm nervous, anxious, and just antsy. I'm like, Liz said it once, it's like watching somebody who's got ants in their pants. I'm fidgety and all over the place. That's what happens to me a lot when I'm either excited about something or anxious. That's the word I want to use, anxious. So I have to now go, even with these glasses on, I can barely see my timer. I have to go wake up the wife and have her do my hair real quick. She does a great job. I don't have to, thank God, because I don't know if I can run out to a barber, have a barber cut my hair and then come back, because I don't know if there's any, Great Clips might be open, but I don't want to spend that kind of money for a simple haircut. I mean, I just need it shortened a little bit and trimmed. Of course, this right here, I did this once before. This right here, it's gotten nice and long, but if you notice that if I grab this, I have this receding hairline behind it, which that's, my hairline is a combination of both sides of my family. The patch in the back of the head, or behind this tuft, that's my dad. That would be my Henson side. This right here, that's the April side, my mom's side. So, yeah. I did one time get really upset because I got tired of waiting for Jerry Ann. I literally took the hair clipper and just literally buzzed it all off. I mean, I went totally, like, everything gone. I mean, I cut every strand of hair I could off. And then once I got done with the clipper and clipped it, basically used the clipper to get it as close as possible, I took my electric razor, made sure it was clean, had brand new blades in it, brand new head in it, whatever you want to call it, and just went crazy trying to get the rest of it off, as much of the rest of it off. And I did that the weekend before we were going up to St. Louis for Aunt Sue's 80th birthday. 80th? Yeah, 80th birthday. And my aunt, we went there, and we didn't know who all was going to show up, because of the factor at the time we were like, oh, it's just going to be me, Mom, Jerry, Aunt Sue, and her daughter Janet, and Janet's husband, I can't remember his name. I kind of feel sorry because of this. And Janet is 2 years older than I am, so she's now 40, almost 41. I think she just turned 41 back in June. What is his name? Rob. Yeah, his name is Rob. And we have pictures from that event where I'm like, I look like I just came out of boot camp, and I'm getting like, the hair is back, and you see the hair, the hair starting to grow back. And after boot camp, when your hair is like that, they call you ping, because it's the sound your hair makes when it's growing back. Ping, 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 ping. Anyhow, just a little history and military joke at the same time. But I gotta sign off because this is almost an hour long, and that means it's almost 12, and I've got to do stuff. Anyhow, if you enjoyed this video, as crazy as it was, give it a thumbs up. Any questions or comments, go ahead and put it in the question comment box, and I will try to address them. I'm sorry that I didn't post a video last night. I got so busy that I forgot to do that. So it might be a day late, 2 days late, something like that. Anyhow, if you guys are new to my channel, go ahead and if you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and then a bell will pop up, and you can hit the bell, and YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. Until next time, God bless. Have a goodbye. Have a goodbye. God bless. Have a good day. And goodbye.